They always say that it's darkest before dawn. Well, here we are, the cusp of greatness, an almost return to form. And right when we're starting to believe that we could be in for something that would unite this community for the better, what do we get? A rug pull so hard that you'd think we were just pump and dumped by some dumbass podcast host with dreams of crypto schemes. And I, for one, am not just gonna sit idle by while this boof-ass company continues to suck every last dime from its fanbase, all the while using AI-generated content to cut costs on hiring artists and voice actors to spend pennies on the goddamn dollar to make an inferior product. That's right, Activision. If you're gonna push out unfinished $70 games and $25 bundles, you better be cooking that shit up like you're running the crystal ship, bitch. Because I can smell what you're actually whipping up in there, and that garbage is so goddamn disrespectful. Not just to the fans, artists, and developers, but to the goddamn craft of video games. And to quote one of your own characters and use them against you.
Fuck you!
But Black Cell!
Kiss my ass!
Hello everyone and welcome home. Today, we're stepping away from the zombies lore to talk about something a little more important. Integrity. That's right, integrity. You know, the thing that the majority of not only people, but corporations and money-hungry CEOs just tend to kind of lack nowadays.
But you know what? Fuck those guys. They ain't got no integrity.
Exactly. Randy gets me.
But Killer, why are we talking about integrity? What does that have to do with zombies?
Well, that's just it now, isn't it? It has everything to do with zombies. Now, it's not breaking news at this point that SAG-AFTRA is back at it again with another round of strikes, but instead of impacting Disney and your favorite TV shows, this one is aimed directly at the voice actor contracts. Now, even though I made a video about this when it first began 4 months ago, 4 months ago, I'm gonna recap a bit for those of you that are just kind of getting into this situation now. Every so many years, voice actors that are members of the Actors Union, aka SAG-AFTRA, are allowed to edit and adjust their contracts to better accommodate themselves, whether that be changes in pay, breaks during recording sessions, or, basic protections against having their voice or likeness used without permission or compensation. Yeah, kind of just basic stuff, especially with the rise of AI and voice cloning, which just so happens to be the main goal of this round of strikes. But Killer, how does this impact my precious zombies mode? You have to tell me, what is this gonna do? What does this mean? Can I not play anymore? Hold your horses, damn! I was just about to get to that. Fucking Sporticus out here trying to rush me and shit. Anyway, the main reason that this is going to become a problem for us is because Activision is one of the biggest companies being struck against, and they don't have any protections against AI in their contracts at all. In fact, they have clauses that allow them to use AI to, quote, alter your voice and replicate it for future use, end quote. Hell, even content creators aren't safe from these things. Fellow creator Nero Cinema got a contract from Activision recently pertaining to wanting to use his YouTube video in future Activision, videos, probably for marketing. And in that contract, there was a part where they could use his likeness and voice however they want in their future content, free of charge. Wow. The only saving grace to this situation is that content creators can just not sign and say no. But when it comes down to the actors, they're not as lucky, since the actors involved with SAG-AFTRA are not allowed to work for, promote, or even talk about struck projects they have done or were working on before the strike. So, what is this going to do? Well, more than likely, they're just going to be replaced. Just like we're seeing right now with Julie Nathanson, who has voiced Samantha Maxis since 2010. 14 years.
Wait, Sam has been recast? What does that mean for the story?
Yeah, go hop in a match and try to do a Sam trial and you'll hear someone that is not Julie Nathanson. And while some people may not care, this has broader ramifications than just losing one character. The majority of the cast Jeremy Crutchley, Gene Farber, Keston John, Chantel Berry, and even Nolan North Richtofen himself are involved with the Union. And what happens when they can't record new lines for maps or do motion capture for future cutscenes? They're gonna get replaced. That's what. And while that may not seem like a big deal to the casuals, just not as involved in the story, that basically kills the momentum that we have going. Not only for the story, but for the game mode and just the whole fucking franchise as a whole. Voice acting makes a game, and it is something we absolutely take for granted in the gaming genre today. A prime example being with Mason's recasting Cold War. For me and a lot of other people, it completely killed the experience, because instead of Sam Worthington's beautifully borderline crazy voice emitting from my speakers yapping about numbers, it was this bullshit.
Why didn't you tell us it was an American nuke?
It just rips you right out, because not only do these new actors sound different, but perform and bring completely different personalities. Like, for instance, are you seriously gonna sit there and tell me that this Mason...
And I'll be going in with my boy here.
This one's all yours, brother. The hell are you talking about? You know who we are? If you're trying to be friendly, this is the dumbest way to go about it.
We're just fucking with you.
is the same as this Mason?
Go through hell. Oh. Hell, we've already been. This morning, we lost contact.
So go get him, CIA. Why are you here?
Get it! I'm gonna kill you! Try to fuck with my mind! Fire!
I need help.
You're 7 years old, David. Stop acting like a baby. No one move or this fucker gets it!
Deberíamos demostrar. You son of a bitch!
He was never at Rebirth Island.
Mason! My name is Victor Reznov, and I will have my revenge!
What's your name?
Fuck you!
Where were you born?
Kiss my ass!
I don't fucking think so. Also, sorry for the kind of impromptu Mason rant there. He's my favorite protagonist of all of Call of Duty, and to see his voice actor get cut, it just ruined a lot of the game for me. And knowing that this is a possibility for other people whose favorite characters might be in the Zombies crew or any of the campaigns past Black Ops 6 getting replaced, it kind of just really pisses me off. And what makes this whole thing even more rage-inducing is that Activision could sign an interim agreement, which allows the company to keep their projects moving forward while showing solidarity with the union goals. But of course, those cucks are resisting signing these agreements because it could set a precedent for negotiations that they may have zero desire to fulfill, which this is Activision we're talking about, the most money-hungry business since fucking Disney. Activision's hesitation likely stems from its stance on AI and their definition of performance work. For instance, most companies in gaming argue that motion capture or background work is not technically performance work. Like, they think that it's data. They refer to it as data used for development. Which is bullshit, because you have an actor there giving a performance. They're drawing emotion out of themselves. When you have characters sitting over other characters that are dying and they're fucking sobbing or they're losing their minds, that is an actor behind that screen. That's not data, but fucking whatever. These dickheads know that signing the interim agreement would be committing Activision to these protections in future negotiations, which they resist so they can maintain their flexibility and just continue to fuck around with AI and make bullshit calling cards, loading screens, and emblems. Also, on a sidebar, some of it probably has to do with the fact that agreeing to these terms could increase production costs and delay future projects, as stricter rules for using AI-generated assets would require just a ton of new workflow and stricter crunch times for the already mistreated devs. And well, I can understand that. It just puts us between a rock and a hard place. Because as a fan, I want the best possible product and for the devs to have not only time, but healthy lives. But they don't even get either already, and we still have six-fingered Santa Claus and gross-ass AI slop forced down our throats at every turn. Like, at least hire someone to clean this shit up. AI is an amazing tool, but it's not a replacement for human creativity. Like, for fuck's sake, is it really that hard to just not be a bunch of greedy dicks? hire artists, pay people fair wages. Lord knows you make enough out of every goddamn bundle, battle pass, and black cell. Stop fucking up this franchise, man. Oh, fuck, dude. Okay, I need a second. So, here's what some other friends of the channel have to say about this bullshit. Enjoy.
Oh boy, AI. Yeah, it's back and it's kind of here to stay. At least I would like to not say that, but unfortunately that's probably the truth. So kind of diving headfirst into the AI allegations. Now, we obviously don't know everything behind the scenes, so I'm gonna refrain from giving judgment about contracts and stuff like that. Obviously, I do think it's incredibly important to hire voice actors and not force them to sign a legal agreement or document or contract that allows for their voice to go and be used without payment. They should always be given royalties. We've recently come across a controversy with the Samantha Maxis voice actor who's been with us since World at War. It is utterly fucking insane that they have to recast her or use AI voices itself to replicate the voice that she's known for. Now, obviously, I'm not a fan of recast at all. I'm a humble believer in if we have a good performance from somebody and they were the reason the character was brought to life, that it should probably stay that talent. Now, we've had many losses before with voice actors. We've seen Alex Mason get botched. We've seen Hudson get botched. We've seen Woods. Bro is just an onion for no reason. Now, thankfully, they were recast by actual voice actors, which regardless of what you think of them or not, you know, it's up in the air, but at least it is a honest day's work for a voice actor out there looking for a job. So when we get to Julie Nathanson supposedly being recast, I'm not a fan of it. I believe that she is the reason Samantha was brought to life in such a pivotal way. Unfortunately, there has to be some sort of behind the scenes AI issue is what we presumably know about. This is ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Why do we have to include AI? Just pay the voice actor? It's as simple as that. These games bring in billions of dollars every single year. The fact that they just can't pay the same talent or meet their contractual agreements is kind of embarrassing, honestly, especially when 2 years ago or so, Activision was bought out by Microsoft, which is $1 trillion company. So we see issues like this where they're trying to cut corners, save cost, instead of just paying the actual talent what they deserve. I'm not a fan of the recast at all. However, if the job is at the very least, going to another voice actor seeking an opportunity, I could understand it. But I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. However, what I cannot fucking understand at all is the AI plaguing the bundles in the shop. This is insane. Could you imagine if any other game was doing this? It'd be ridiculous. They are charging us money, actual money and currency for what they can make for free. All they have to do is type in a prompt and it pops up. We have a loading screen with 6 fucking fingers. We have an event pop-up advertisement with 6 fucking fingers. How do you fumble that fucking bad? Look, if you're gonna dive into the usage of AI, at least make sure you could do it properly. One of my biggest critiques here is that AI should be used for a tool to be able to express creativity in a more efficient way. I do not think that they should sit there and just use the AI slop that they fucking made. Honestly, if they were to use AI to give them some sort of inspiration for what the final loading screen or final advertisement would actually look like, I don't think it's as big of a deal as long as an actual artist is making the final product. I am not paying $70 for a game that gives me 6 fingers. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. Like, if you're paying people to use AI and type in prompts, you would think that this is the least that they could do, is make sure that people do not find out it's AI. Obviously, I prefer that there's no AI. There's plenty of artists who would love to work in the industry. Unfortunately, we are stripping them of opportunities because of AI. We're cutting corners. This is ridiculous when they bring in so much money every single year. Which brings me to the final topic I do want to cover here. Where does AI bring us in the future of gaming? I think this is a lose-lose situation. I do not think that there is a world where people actually use AI responsibly, where they use it as a tool to help them create rather than just the art itself. I think from here on out, it's here to stay. Unfortunately, it's tragic. It's going to continue to, especially in Activision titles, which sucks because we have plenty of games like Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero Tony Hawk, where we're probably going to start seeing more AI designs, you know, if those IPs continue to pick up and make games in their series. So I think this is pretty much a downward spiral from here on out for the games industry. Activision is setting a precedent that if they could get away with it, why can't anyone else? So before you know it, we're going to be seeing AI skins in Fortnite, in Fall Guys, to anyone who still plays that, Among Us, Minecraft, for all we know. I mean, this is Microsoft dabbling in AI as well as Activision. It begins this domino effect, which is not very good. And hopefully we're able to fix these things. I doubt it. There's not much we could do. What is little old Grxvxity gonna do here? Absolutely fucking nothing. I could voice my opinion and no one who matters will even hear it, right? No CEO of Activision is gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker was right. No, it's not happening. Activision needs to get this shit under control. They need to pay their talent. They bring in way too much fucking money to let this go. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. So hopefully we can do something about it, chat. Thanks, guys. Thanks, K-pop, for having me on. It means the world to me. Thanks, everybody, for listening. On to the next. Adios.
Oh, thank you. Please excuse my voice. I'm just getting over a head cold. In terms of this AI integration into Call of Duty, we should not want this at all. It is like the antithesis of what we love about this game. And it's ironic and scary that an AI voice might actually be voiced by an AI one day. I mean, we're talking about someone who's been here since BO1, since Moon. And to see Julie Nathanson just being replaced like that just because she wanted to protect her likeness and voice and not have it be used without her permission by some AI garbage machine is actually crazy. And I have nothing but respect for her and the others who didn't want this. But the fact that they're replaced just like that is utterly insane. And the fact that I almost was willing to throw a few dollars towards this game for the microtransactions actually being decent is now no more, because I don't even know if this stuff is made by a real person or not. And as an artist, I care about that shit, man. These corner cutting strategies are a plague, and who knows what'll happen next. I am fully against this mass-produced content ass, no love given ass ideology that could very well be implemented in this game in the future. And to those of you who don't care, learn to care. Your boy Clambo is out of here. Thank you, killer.
Hello, my name is Mattsuki. How do I feel about AI plaguing bundles in the shop? Well, I am glad you asked. Man, the shop for me on the Mattsuki channel has been a bloating, Fairly Odd Parents boil that just can't stop being the cancerous slop of pus that it is. I mean, for years, I've hated the decision Activision made to turn Toys for Bob, the creators of Skylanders, into slaves working away on shop bundles for the military franchise Call of Duty. But when I thought things couldn't get any worse, we've seen plagiarism with a few bundles like the White Dog skin in Vanguard, blatantly stealing VTuber designs like Project Melody and putting that on a Vanguard weapon variant. And now there's straight up AI replacing those poor Skylander developers and throwing them under the bus yet again, and probably a bunch of regular Call of Duty developers with them. My thoughts on AI plaguing shop bundles are that it's horrible treatment behind the scenes for the people making our games. And on the player side of things, it's Activision serving us $30 to $40, bundles that cost them nothing to make. All Activision has done is steal hardworking artists' work, plugged all of that into their AI image producing machinery, which might even overlap with 3D model making. Considering skins are their biggest revenue source, I wouldn't doubt 3D AI modeling. And then they have a person give it ideas. They give the AI generator prompts, which that part might even be done by AI too at this point. I don't see why they'd pay a real person to operate AI when AI could research trendy skin ideas on Google and plug them into the machine itself way faster than any human can. Oh, and then when it's done all that, they take their results, they throw it in the shop and slap a big old 2400 God points on it, because that's what the new standard has become over the past 6 years. It's not like this shit will become cheaper now that AI is making it. Hell no. Why would they do that when you got casual free-to-play Warzone gamers as your main player base? Again, 2400 COD points has become normalized, and these people that normalized it aren't even from our fan base. They won't care. They're too casual to care. So To get back on topic, how do I feel about AI plaguing bundles in the shop? Killer Buddy, my main man, you worded this question in a way that already describes how I feel about AI behind artistic works. It's a plague. And this plague has grown deep into our franchise and spread like a wildfire. There's no way to defeat it on our end except maybe, just maybe, boycotting the series until it is officially fixed. We did it once in the past with supply drops or random loot crates. Let's do it again. Fuck, I mean, this company is so rotten to its core that they're still getting away with predatory loot box crates in 2024. Just look at Call of Duty Mobile. The only reason they've left actual Call of Duty on console and PC alone is because we complained and gained the attention of lawmakers. COD Mobile doesn't have that because it's a mobile game designed for a majority child audience. If the content creators aren't there, there's less traction and more of an ability for Activision to thrive. If this shit on COD Mobile was exposed, I think it'd get shut down pretty fast. But I think if you're a fan of this franchise, we must boycott it. Stop playing, stop spending money on macro transactions that might not even be made by real people, and stop buying COD games at launch or even pre-orders. Stop that stupid shit too, please. If you still want the game, get it on sale on Black Friday like I did. Like, you miss out on nothing and you get the game at a cheaper price. The less money in Activision's wallet at this point, the better. That's what they actually deserve for not putting in at least a somewhat equal effort into microtransactions on their end. If you still want to spend 2,400 COD points on slop, be the fool of this franchise. You're a laughingstock. If you're a content creator, I think we all need to bring awareness to this plague growing on our franchise. Make your own videos, which I'll be doing one myself soon, but I wanted to help out my friend Killer here. If you're a voice actor or a real artist working for COD, you guys actually need to boycott if you want to keep your position. On a side note, I'm so happy that you developers, you guys, are letting these six-fingered Santa Claus zombies slip into the game because it gave us, like most of the Call of Duty franchise, a huge wake-up call. Keep doing shit like that. Let it slide. That's awesome. That's gonna be amazing for this movement. I think that the creative process involves innovation, so without real humans behind the wheel, creativity dies. AI can only generate based on past human works, but since that starts to create a problem for AI, well, guess what? They can just steal new innovation, update their AI's database, and claim it as their own until they get called out because, uh-oh, who came up with the stolen ideas? Not a real human being? Oh, whoopsie. Guess it was a bug on our system. No accountability taken. AI is basically a unanimous online figure that can't be beaten unless legal regulations are put in play. And even at that point, who's to tell whether companies are obeying the law or not when their footprints are completely hidden? AI is like artistic VPN against plagiarism. I think what's at stake here is, number one, the whole point of becoming an artist. If you cannot make somewhat of a living off of art, what's the point? Art will become as useless of a career path as trying to start a fire out of 2 rocks when you could have just used some matches that are sitting beside you the entire time. Art school is just gonna become a joke, and the well-known artists at the top, the ones who have already become a success, they will stay at the top while AI will steal the potential futures of upcoming artists that haven't yet made a name for themselves. And number 2, games will become more and more dull and purposeless as time goes on. Already in recent years, COD has completely lost its aura on the multiplayer side of things, and as of late, the zombies community has also started to feel the effects of greed as Activision favors little children's CP over the M for mature adults that are hardcore fans of this franchise. Oh, and not to discriminate, Activision likes adults that carry lots of CP on their consoles and PC too. Oh, and Activision, you guys really shouldn't change the name of your currency because the abbreviated form makes you actually sound like the scum that you are. Like, you just can't let go of CP. You want to spread it around, get people to buy it, and trade it in for AI slop once your whales are done with it. Fucking brilliant. But yeah, I think if you actually let real artists come in and let them do their work, artists that are passionate about the product that they're making for us, the consumers, I think then and only then you will see something beautiful and valuable to the core fanbase. The creative process involves a lot of brainstorming and honest innovation. Sometimes innovation is very hit or miss, but those that do hit go down as games that went golden and are respected for generations. Black Ops 2 for its multiplayer, Infinite Warfare for its campaign, and Black Ops 3 for its zombies and mod support. But those that are misses are forgotten and generate zero hype going forward. Modern Warfare 3 2023 for that campaign has killed everyone's anticipation. MW3 for the multiplayer has destroyed what Modern Warfare fans liked about this series. Like, we have devastated the Modern Warfare 2019 community with that game. And MW3 for zombies was just bland, boring, and ugly. There was no innovation that pushed MW3 above the rest. Of course, MW3 wasn't a game that suffered from AI, it more so suffered from being built on a rushed dev time and only being a DLC pack for Modern Warfare 2022. But this is the type of slop that you can expect when you rush the creative process. Heck, I'd almost bet that the campaign script was AI generated due to how nothing even made narrative sense. AI doesn't always recognize how many fingers are on your hand, just like how it doesn't always recognize a narrative beat. For example, Price choking on poisonous gas played no part into this campaign, but true human writers all pointed out how this could have worked so well. They've all pointed out how reviving Captain Price in the next scene and making him all better was just plain stupid and killed all of our tension. And the fact that there's no payoff for this, like later in the story, where Captain Price's health conditions or anything, like everything just falls so short. I think it left most players feeling apathetic. And you know what they say, apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Alright, that's enough for me. Peace.
Honestly, I am just really disappointed with Samantha of all characters being recast. She's literally been in Zombies since Deriz in 2009. She's quite literally at the same seniority level as the OG Ultimus crew, and that's really just how I see this. It feels like we're losing a member of the original crew. If Carver got recast, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't really care that much, but Samantha, Richtofen, or Weaver being recast are my big no's. Those three characters and actors are Call of Duty staples that I really don't think can be removed. I'm definitely upset with them putting AI stuff in the store bundles. The way I see it personally, if the background picture for the free event is AI, or if some dumb joke post they post on social media is AI, I really don't care. But if any part of the $70 game I paid for is AI, which people have proven with some of the loading screens and the calling cards and stuff, I think that's a big problem. If I'm paying the premium price, whether that's the game itself or the $20 price for a store bundle, I think that man-made content is at least the bare minimum that they can give us. And if they can't do that, then they shouldn't be releasing that stuff at all, in my opinion. I think that AI is definitely harming gaming now and in the future in the way that it's being used. I saw a comment on someone's video that perfectly summed up how I feel. They said that we should be using AI to automate the boring and tedious parts of making games so that we can focus on the more fun and creative aspects of game design. I honestly couldn't agree more with that statement. AI should get used for back-end design and planning, not front-end stuff that players are actually seeing and experiencing. The fact that things like the Santa zombie with 6 fingers even managed to somehow get past QA is beyond me and really does make me worried for the future if something like that is so easy to catch and it wasn't caught at all and they didn't do anything about it.
As much as I've enjoyed Black Ops 6 Zombies so far, I can't help but to get a bad taste in my mouth the more that I hear about what's going on with the voice acting talent within the game. The lack of respect and loyalty towards these actors, especially with longtime mainstays like Julie Nathanson, Gene Farber, and now possibly even Nolan North, seeming to have been shown the door when voicing their concerns over being replaced with AI, rather than just renegotiating with them. Looks like those videos that Treyarch pumped out over the years giving praise to their voice acting talent of all ages like sun-bleached milk. And I'm fully aware that they started using it for in-game assets as well, which is just as lazy as I expect modern COD to be. I only play Call of Duty for zombies. Always have, always will. But I barely bought this game on launch. The last game that I touched was Cold War. But I saw how fun zombies actually was in this game compared to how it has been, and that excited me enough to actually buy it. So unfortunately, I have already bought the game, but I can at least boycott it the best way that I can by not making any additional in-game purchases, which I honestly wasn't planning on doing anyway. As far as I'm aware, I believe the voice actors that have left have been recast, which is shitty in itself, but how long will it be before they all start getting replaced by AI in general? Primus is apparently set to return in the future, but Tom Kane was forced into early retirement a couple years ago. I think it would be a disrespectful way to honor him by replacing him with a soulless robotic copy. But if they have to cop out and bring Primus back in the first place, maybe that's a testament to how creatively bankrupt Treyarch is. AI is a plague to artistic integrity. Hell, integrity in general, because the more people that I see defending it, they're okay with taking away hard work in favor of quick and easy. And I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being. It lacks any sort of depth or personality, and frankly, it just looks like shit no matter how advanced it looks or sounds. And let me make one thing perfectly clear. If you cheer on anyone's jobs getting taken by AI because they have to then in turn get a real job, then I have extremely bad news for you, friend, and it's that the very second that they figure out how to replace your real job, you're next. You think these motherfuckers want to pay you? I can't wait for the day when all of you complacent, bootlicking, CEO glazing shills finally have no one to blame but yourselves. Anyway, I'm the Accomplice, and I'll see you when the fuck ever I decide to get my next video out.
So as you can see, fellow creators in the space aren't too happy with what's going on either. And take one look at Twitter or some comment sections, and you'll see hundreds, if not thousands, of fans that feel the exact same way. You can't expect us to pay $70 for a game full of AI-generated slop, just like you can't expect people to pay $24 for a bundle with the same problem. If Activision continues down this path with their games, they're risking alienating more and more fans every year. And what happens to a franchise when all of the fans leave? Well, that's simple. Your game dies. And honestly, that would fucking hurt the first-person arcade shooter genre, as well as the zombie genre, because even though COD can be a bitch, it's also still the largest FPS on the market. We've watched so many other companies try to do it just to fall flat, but COD has really stood the test of time, and I would be very sad to see its downfall. But if they continue down this path, the only place it leads is to a soulless grave.
But Killer, that sounds to me like global warming. Maybe it's happening, but that's still generations away, right?
I get how you could see it that way, but the answer is no. You're not only already seeing the consequences with the voice actor replacements, but you'll also begin watching the slow drip impact other games. For instance, Naughty Dog just released a teaser for their next AAA title, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which I personally think looks interesting until you analyze it a little further. And with all that brand promotion and vastness of story in space, it begs the question, how much of that game is going to utilize AI in building the world or creating textures and just filling the space? These are the same things that we'll be having to ask in future COD games, and hell, some people are asking it now. This isn't just about integrity either. As we're getting further into this, you also have to consider legacy. Call of Duty was once a very respectable title. People raved and discussed COD all of the time. Hell, every kid in school from 4th grade to sophomore year would avidly play and discuss Call of Duty. But then, they started making mistakes and burning at their legacy bit by bit, and once this AI takes over more and more responsibility, that legacy will be gone. Instead of thinking about all the fun we've had, or making new memories with current games, we'll simply move on to other titles that are less reliant on AI until COD is just a faint memory clouded by microtransactions and sloppy, soulless art direction. Because believe it or not, art direction is very important. Honestly, more important than voice acting, because the art is what you will see every second of gameplay, and any player with a brain or sense of creativity can tell genuine human experience from something popped out of an artificial intelligence like a goddamn toaster strudel.
Oh yeah, look at all that AI. Look at that motherfucker. He's fucking flying in the air. The kid's pulling apart that AI. He's eating that shit. He's eating them bundles, bro. He's eating them motherfucking bundles. Little fat white boy says, eat my AI, and he says, this shit is fucking delicious. There's some good fucking AI. Put that shit in my goddamn belly. I want to buy every fucking bundle you got. Oh yeah, I'll take every fucking bundle in this goddamn store. Keep giving me all that AI.
Sorry, I made myself laugh. That was funny. That was fucking funny, right? Okay. Okay. Now I know this video is a lot of complaining, and I'm not one of those dickheads that yaps about the problems without offering solutions. So buckle up, baby cakes. We're busting a Yui and covering some, Yui. Homelander done nicked me wife and stole me bloody son. God damn it. Sorry. Fucking brain rot. Here, have some solutions. So when it comes down to the AI voice cloning, it's not that hard to figure out. Update the contracts that protect voice actors from being forced into agreeing that their voices could be replicated and used in future projects without compensation, because that's dumb as fuck. Instead, provide an optional side agreement to every contract where the actor can agree to have their voices simulated by AI for a fraction of the cost they currently work under, where the actor can have a 30-day period to approve the simulated dialogue as to not have something created that goes against their own values or beliefs. This would give actors an opportunity to choose what they'd like to do, while still being compensated and feeling involved in the process. This would also help in situations like with Tom Kane, who can't return as Takeo due to a very unfortunate circumstance where he tragically suffered a stroke. Agreements like these would allow him to give permission to use his voice for the character while still receiving some form of compensation for it. This would help in restoring a sense of trust between developers and actors, as well as harboring goodwill with fans. They could also begin hiring artists that can learn how to utilize AI as a tool to help them with art direction, but not so lazy as to let it completely overtake tasks. And in turn, so what if games are delayed? COD would benefit so much to a bi-yearly cycle. Every year it's a new game, and it sucks because you grind for all this shit and then it's just useless. Give people more time to play with the things that they've bought or earned, especially with the customizability that runs through these games' veins now. So many operators, camos, blueprints, bundles have just been lost because of the yearly changes. I bought Ash Williams in the shop because I love Evil Dead. The same with Rick Grimes, but I can only use them in Warzone. And even though I adore those characters, maybe guest operator bundles just isn't the way to go. Maybe just give us more unique skins for the characters we already have. And for the love of God, give my man Mattsuki a fucking cosmetic filter for the people out there that don't want to see these crazy skins because it pulls them out of the game. Also, big one here, hire some good writers and keep them on fucking retainer. Because my god, do these campaigns suck lately. So many plot holes and inconsistencies. There are so many talented writers in the world, and hiring a group of them with one lore master would help these games feel more complete. I just want to see this franchise get back on its feet, goddammit. I want to see it rise out of the ashes and have zombies, multiplayer, and campaign get to that point that people are talking about it in a good way again. It's possible. People just need to stop thinking with their wallets because, spoiler alert, you can't take it with you when you fucking die. I know it's unlikely. Like Grav said, none of the executives are gonna see this and go,
"Oh man, that guy's right."
But I wouldn't be me if I didn't at least try. I owe it to myself, not me now, but Little Killer, who spent so many weekends playing Call of Duty with his friends, building prop ray guns and pack-a-punch machines, and filming live-action zombie videos that would never be posted. Video games are so detrimental to our culture now. Everyone plays them, experiences them, and in our moments of mundane living, they can provide comfort and help us feel a little more connected to each other. I've been doing this channel for almost a year now, and in the last few months of covering Call of Duty, I've met some amazing people that I now gladly call my friends, and I wouldn't have found that if it weren't for this game. It's been such a big part of my life, and it's honestly become woven into who I am as a person, which may sound lame to some of you, but every single person on Earth has something they feel that way about, and this is just one of those things. This game can feel like family, and I just wish they would actually treat us like it. I know it's a pipe dream, but hey, what's life without a few dreams, right? Not one worth living. That's why if these motherfuckers don't get off their ass and fix this mess, I'm gonna be the one to gut them and see what this franchise's insides look like. Good night, everybody.